This is KUGAN CASSIUS for Eiffel TV. We're in an Audi garage here in Stuttgart. With me I've got from the Sun, I'm only joking, from the Times, Ron Lewis. Is that?
Oh, I am from the Times, yes I am very much. I give you my card.
This is quite weird up here, isn't it, Ron? It's like there's like R8s up there and Q7s knocking about the place.
Well, it's a bit different from, I remember one of the last ones I did, they always seem to have the car companies doing these. When David Haythorpe Klitschko, it was, I think it was a Mercedes garage. But it was they didn't actually have a space like this, so we were literally we were standing between the cars where the weigh-in was, and the weigh-in was in a shop where the media workout was. They literally pushed a few cars back and put a ring in the middle, so you can get anywhere there, but at least got a bit of room.
A lot of people had something to say about this fight, as in Darren taking the fight in Germany. They wanted to see some sort of homecoming after the Gill fight, but you completely understand why Darren had to take it here.
Well, I think you got to look at Darren is 31. I think with his past with his injuries, he can't really think that too far ahead. I mean, there's no real point in looking at taking 2 or 3. You know, he could have a year of defences in England and probably earn the money he's going to earn from this fight. He's getting well paid. He's got, I think, the way Sturm's been, certainly since the Matt Macklin fight, and you look at his form since then, he's not the fighter he was 4 years ago, so it's presumably a fight he thinks he can win. He's got that deal that if things go away from, you know, if the decision goes against him here, he's got the rematch. So essentially he's got a very good deal, and I'm sure he'd like to fight in London, but you only have one career and it's a very short one.
After the Sergio Martinez fight, did you think that Darren Barker could accomplish what he has actually gone on to accomplish?
Yeah, I think if you look at it realistically with the British fighters and the world champions, the aim was always almost who could get to Gill first. Gill was seen as the weakest of the world champions, and Darren was the guy who got to him. Gill obviously beat Sturm. I thought he was quite lucky to beat Sturm actually, but you know, so there was always the thought that Gill was of, you know, you look at Martinez, you look at Golovkin, even to an extent Quillen is a bit more protected. He's the one who he was the one everyone wanted to get to. He got to him in neutral territory in America, and I'm sure Murray and Macklin should have been the ones to get to Gill, but Darren got there first.
It's always been a talks about thing in England that our top 3 or 4 middleweights rather haven't fought each other, you know, and they're all currently still fighting. Do you think next year is the year that we'll possibly see this?
Yeah, it could be. I think they all obviously have ambitions about what they think they're going to get paid for it. People are doing kind of their own thing. The one who's in there looking kind of from the outside for a fight, well, the two are Andy Lee and Martin Murray. Matt Macklin's obviously still getting good money from HBO to fight in America. You know, so from that point of view, why would you look to particularly take, you know, if there's more money doing that and more opportunities at the end of doing that than there are fighting a Martin Murray over here, probably are. So these things eventually usually happen. I mean, one of the things that is interesting is that all those guys, you looked at it 4 years ago, or, well, maybe not 4 years ago, two years ago, and you'd have thought one of them would have dropped off by now, but it's interesting, they're all still there and they're all still hungry, and eventually, you know, it usually happens, they run out of other options, and it's the option they've got to take.
When they were on ringside recently, ringside, the gloves are off, they sort of had the debate about, you know, who was number 1 and 2, and you know, Darren Barker's got the best case because he's the one actually holding the title, but the title aside, it just is for purely who the better fighter is. How do you rate them 1 to 4?
1 to 4, I think I think if you're putting a line in form in of how I think the fights went, I think Matt Macklin beat Sturm, didn't get a decision. I thought Sturm beat Murray but only got a draw. So from that means I'll probably put Macklin above Murray. But then again, you look at Murray's incredible performance against Martinez. Yeah. And so from that matter, you'd almost sort of put Murray up top at the moment. Murray up top, Barker's obviously got the title. So you probably put Murray, Barker top, Murray second, Matt Macklin third, and Andy Lee's been slightly out of the loop and hasn't really had a big fight for a bit.
But just finally, you tip Barker to pull it off?
I think it's a tough fight to call this. I think I probably would, but I think you will only know it was obviously a big emotional roller coaster for Darren to actually get and win the title, and I think sometimes when they get in there they'll discover how much they still want it. There's one thing going through the training camps, your first defence, and being champion and enjoying being champion, but if Sturm goes off at a fast pace and Darren finds himself behind and having to try and turn it round, I don't think it's an easy task. Sturm's a very good fighter. You look at this and Darren's had 2 world title fights and Sturm's had 19. Sturm doesn't look to me to be a washed up fighter. He's got home advantage. I think it's a tough ask. I think Darren can probably do it, and as was shown with the Gill fight and the Martin Murray fight, Sturm can't really rely on a hometown decision. So I think it's going to be a tight fight. I think Darren might just do it.
Alright Ron, I think the weighing's going to start soon. As just started weighing in the undercard there, so listen, we look forward to it, and listen, hopefully he'll come home with the belt.
Absolutely, yeah.
Alright, it's KUGAN CASSIUS with Ron Lewis here for IFL TV. Thank you very much.